has been hit. Explore. Do you read? Explore. Over. Explore. Astronaut is off structure. Dr. Stone is off structure. Dr. Stone detached. You must detach. If you don't detach, that arm's going to carry you too far. Listen to my voice. You need to focus. I'm losing visual of you. In a few seconds, I won't be able to track you. You need to detach. I can't see you anymore. Do it now.
So, Gravity. I have been looking forward to this one mainly just because I wanted to see if it could possibly live up to the hype. Because this movie has been a critical darling. I just checked it on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's sitting at 97%, which is phenomenal. And you know what? Yeah, it lives up to the hype. Definitely. This was really fucking good. Oh, man. Basically, the story behind this movie is a few astronauts are up at the Hubble telescope, I think installing some new module or something, and they get a call from Houston letting them know that the Russians are testing an anti-satellite missile, and apparently they decided to test it by simply blowing up one of their own decommissioned satellites, which I guess isn't that far-fetched because I believe China did something similar a few years ago, and this, unfortunately, leads to a chain reaction because some of the debris from that satellite hits some other satellites and breaks them apart. That, in turn, hits some other satellites, and pretty soon, every single satellite orbiting the planet just becomes this big, massive field of debris that starts heading right for them. And Houston tells them, get out of there quick, but by then it's already too late, and this man-made asteroid field just plows into the shuttle and all but destroys it entirely. And the only two members of the crew who survive are Ryan, played by Sandra Bullock, and Matt, played by George Clooney. And they have to figure out, what do we do now? How the hell do we get out of here and get back to Earth? Because we certainly can't fly back on the shuttle. It's gone. And we're sitting here trapped in the vacuum of space. And from them, it pretty much becomes a survival story, and for the most part, a one-woman show with Sandra Bullock. George Clooney is in there as well, but he's only in probably about a third of the movie, maybe. And yeah, for the rest of it, it's almost entirely Sandra Bullock. And a lesser actress would not have been able to pull this off. But fortunately, Sandra Bullock is not a lesser actress, and she really nailed this one. For one thing, being able to portray a very strong, well, certainly not perfect, but strong and very likable character, and going through just a full range of emotions while she goes on this experience of trying desperately to find a way back to Earth, apart from, the obvious way of just crashing. And just going through, fear, and then anger and frustration, and then back to fear, and then sadness, and then fear, and then a bit of relief, and then fear again. Fear comes up a lot because shit just keeps going wrong. As time and time again, something keeps happening to this poor woman, and you just can't help but feel bad for her because she has no luck at all. She should never play the lottery. Definitely not. And yeah, and this movie is just suspenseful as all hell. I mean, even up until the very end, there's, without giving away too much, just almost at the very end of the movie where it looks like she might actually survive all of this, they throw one last thing at her, and I'm thinking, oh my god, after all this, are they just going to kill her off? Is this, I would not have been surprised if they did, because I've actually seen movies like that before where the character does get killed off in the end. Movies just like, nope, he dies, fuck you. I'm not going to say whether that happens or not here, but I'm sure you can guess. But yeah, Sandra Bullock is fantastic in this, and this has nothing to do with the movie, but I'm going to say this anyway. That woman is 49. That is a damn good 49. I'm just throwing that out there. Jesus. I mean, when I hit that age, I hope I look that good. And for that matter, George Clooney is a damn good 52. No homo, but he is. You were thinking it too. Shut up. But yeah, and the special effects in this movie and the cinematography and all the visuals and the pretty realistic portrayal of what it's like to be in outer space. And, a few astronauts who were interviewed after seeing the movie confirmed that this is very accurate for the most part. There's a couple of things here and there that I've seen some people nitpick. Like, I saw a little clip from one interview where an astronaut was saying how the big field of debris that's orbiting around the Earth throughout this movie, I guess most satellites go from, they go from west to east, but the debris is going east to west. I think that's what he said. I might have that backwards. I don't know. But yeah, for some reason it was going the wrong way that it should have been going. Most people aren't going to pick up on that. It's, real space nuts probably will, but this guy's an astronaut, so of course he caught that. But, apart from little things like that, it's actually very accurate. And they pay special attention to the effect of sound and when you should and should not hear sound, because in space there is no atmosphere and there's nowhere for sound to go. There's no sound in a vacuum, and they are very good about that, which is better than most movies. A lot of movies do not get that right. This one really does. And when this movie hits DVD or Blu-ray, I want to check it out just so I can see if there's a making of documentary, because I want to see how they did this. Because this just looks phenomenal, and there are some extremely long shots in this movie that look like they have no cuts at all. They probably do, and they just hide it behind CGI. But, they did a good job of fooling me because I didn't notice them. And I'm sure a lot of this movie was done in front of a green screen with a lot of CGI, because any of the shots where they're just suspended in space has got to be green screen. There's a lot of first-person shots where you're actually seeing everything that Sandra Bullock's character sees, and it's just totally a first-person view. I'm sure a lot of that is done computer-generated, but it looks fantastic. And yeah, this is going to get a whole lot of Oscar nominations. Probably including a Best Picture. I would not be surprised. Just based on what else I've seen so far this year, yeah, it's going to be up there at least. And for visual effects, and probably for acting as well, because, yeah, Sandra Bullock nailed it in this one. And there's really not a whole lot else to say about this, honestly. Except if you haven't seen it yet already, then you should. Because this is awesome. And, yep, that's about all I got. So, take care.